Let's get into it. I'm not going to demo this from the procurement of analytics perspective, but rather from the technical perspective of how Qlik is now embedded. So if I open up any dashboard, this is now the basic spend overview dashboard with some KPIs and some breakdowns of the data. Well, of course, the charts work as you expect. You can make selections and the filters, our selections appear on top. We have our own controls for clearing the selections and our search so that it's seamless throughout the application. We have also created our own Qlik filters here on the side. So for easy filtering on the dashboards, we have our own calendar, which then corresponds to the need of procurement analytics a bit better. And also, for example, our currency selector where you can save your default selection and whatnot. So we also do have ported the bookmarks into our environment, meaning that I can save a bookmark here, which uses the Qlik APIs, obviously. So this saves a bookmark into Qlik, but also into the Qlik application, but also saves the dashboard you are on. So, and then you can also share this to your colleague within the Sievo environment. So a combination of Qlik's bookmarks and our own dashboards. To give you an idea of that this is not a sheet that's embedded, I can open, since I'm an admin in this environment, I can open up edit mode, and this is what our consultants can then modify. So they can move around charts, they can port in new charts from this Qlik application. There's a whole host of settings for hidden fields that we don't want to appear in selections, labeling certain fields, and so forth that we then control in this layer of the Sievo environment. And why we actually wanted to go for this approach that each and every object is embedded even in a whole dashboard like this, where you could easily simply embed a sheet, is that we also want to be able to mix and match with our own components. So if I now go to our supplier dashboard, we have actually now here, we have added our own component, which is the supplier segmentation tool that I can now use to change the segment of this supplier. And this is now, as you can see, this is a Sievo component, but from a user's perspective, it looks very similar as any component in the dashboard. And this is really what we want, because we want to create dashboards for specific use cases, and often those require tooling that has to interact with the data. And so it really has to not only utilize Qlik charts, but also our own tooling. What we have developed here is that we can, for example, reclassify data. So this, we enable our users to make corrections on the data. So here I have selected a certain supplier in a certain category. I could reclassify this into the category tree. So this is definitely a Sievo component, and as you see. But if I now reclassify it, it takes the selections, it finds the data, and then it makes the change in our database, but then also will fire a reload so that the data gets updated in the customer environment. So that's simple things like this make the user experience very seamless. So this is our go-to make your own chart easy tool for procurement professionals that don't need to learn any set analysis, that don't need to learn any expressions and so forth, but can simply drag and drop or select dimensions and measures from a list to simply create a chart. So here we go. I just selected a dimension and a measure, and there I go. It creates an on-the-fly chart on top of Qlik APIs. I can also change the chart type, obviously. So here we have made it available. I can add more data points to the picture if I want to, and I can reorder them here from the tool, and it's quite nifty, so to speak. And this has really helped us in what I said earlier in serving those customer-specific needs and also those ad hoc needs that you might have in procurement analytics. So we cannot create a dashboard for each and every analytical need there is, but we can serve them with the self-service. And also how this works in the background is that it actually just simply takes from a specific application the master items that have been defined, or groups them as the user wants or as it has been defined in the application, and it's good to go. So when we create a new environment for a new customer, it actually works out of the box, so we don't need to do any configuration. But what I want to close on is that for us, it's definitely more than just pretty visualization. So yes, we went for world-class analytics experience, a unified Sievo UX and purpose-built tooling, seamlessly embedding Qlik. But definitely for us, it is a lot about what's here on the bottom. So it is about high automation in environment creation, monitoring, and alerting, but also these processes where we allow for development changes to be pushed to production for our customers. And what we have now been busy working on that we already have live actually is the so-called upgradability. So we can propagate changes from our product template to all of our customer applications. And that is definitely a game changer in scalability. Thank you for listening, and thanks for giving me your time.